Everyone's reading the Detroit Native Sun, even our competitors. We've got the best writers, best coverage, and best ad rates to draw new clients to your business. Advertise with us for as little as $35. All ads include a free design and will be featured in both our print version newspaper and online. Call today for a free price quote and take advantage of our specials. When you purchase any full or half page for 2 months, we'll give you the third month free. That's right. You can reach another potential 50,000 to 100,000 clients for free. After all, three's the charm in advertising. Call today at 313-457-5944 or email us at DetroitNativeSunNews@gmail.com or visit our website at www.DetroitNativeSunOnline.com. We're waiting for your call. 313-457-5944.
Good afternoon, mid-morning, and welcome to the show. My name is Alexis DeRicio, founder of Motown Women Veterans Association, and we're here to give information and resources to our fellow veterans out there who are always seeking for guidance in any type of subject that we could possibly bring to you. And today we have a special guest, Miss Laverne Santangelo. She's been our guest before, and we're just so happy to have her back because, as you know, as we're coming into the holiday seasons, this is when a lot of people throughout the world basically will be going through grief, depression, and things of this nature. And Laverne is here to help guide you and to give you some information on different programs that's coming up, help that's available to you. But before we get started, again, we would like to thank Valerie Lockhart for allowing the female veterans to host this show and have this platform to reach out. And so if you're still thinking about taking an ad out for your business or upcoming event or whatever, please, again, get in contact with the DetroitNativeSun.com@gmail.com so that you'll be able to place your ad. Again, so let's welcome Miss Laverne. Hey, Miss Laverne.
How are you? I'm
doing
good.
Okay.
I'm good. You're good too this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
That's right.
Yes,
Happy
ma'am.
Tuesday.
Exactly. I
Happy
love
Tuesday.
it. Love it. Because every Tuesday, again, we get to reach out to veterans and, again, to provide resources. And so, like I was saying before, you are such a specialist in grief therapy, grief yoga. She's written books because grief is a very serious thing, and it's almost ranked up there to be a number one cause of suicide. So again, let's let Laverne tell us more about what's going on and upcoming events for our veterans.
Absolutely, Alexis. Thank you for having me on.
For sure.
It's always a pleasure to be here with you and
Yes.
talk about what's available out here for veterans and to the public, just to educate the public and the veteran community in general. And just to just kind of talk. This is the middle of October till January, the middle of January.
Mhm.
It's a special time of year, right? It's a time of a lot of celebrations, but it's also a difficult time of year for a lot of people.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. Especially when you've lost a loved one around the holidays.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so I'd like to, I want to go back to just kind of a little bit of during the fall, right?
Mhm.
September starts out, every month kind of now has a theme, right? There's some type of, some type of mental illness or something that we want to bring awareness to. May is mental health month, and then you kind of go through the months and you come across September. September is suicide awareness month. We're now in October. October is breast cancer awareness month. It's also infant awareness month. You're wearing your pink and
Yes.
your ribbon representing breast cancer, bringing awareness to that. And then November is Veterans Day.
Yes.
There's also a lot of veterans events that go on from September all the way into November. So there's a lot of things, a lot of events and things like that are going on. But what we can kind of forget about
Mhm.
is people will tend to be suffering. And a lot of times they're suffering in silence and they're isolated. And so we want to bring awareness to those things. And we want to talk about the grief that's involved and what's available to help veterans.
Exactly, Laverne, and especially with all these governmental layoffs, is putting people's lives into turmoil, and the holidays are coming up, and there's just not enough resources out there because the programs are being cut. Absolutely. To where veterans have nowhere to turn to be able to get the seat that they're looking for, the help that they're looking for. But again, that brings on a different level of grief.
Absolutely. And so there are different types of grief. There's there's disenfranchised grief, there's complicated grief, there's just to kind of just name a few. And then what most of us are familiar with is just that just grief where you have lost a loved one, maybe you've lost a pet, maybe you have gone through a divorce, maybe you've gone through empty nest, retirement, various just different changes in life. And I'm even say for women, as we talk about with breast cancer awareness, just to kind of give you an idea, there's grief involved in that.
Exactly.
With this being Breast Cancer Awareness Month, because your life changes. It's not just your body is changing, but your life in general can change. And you are a different person. And you grieve some of what you lost in that. There's grief in that, just to kind of give you an example. Because like I said, a lot of times there is a focus on the loss of loved one, but there's grief in a lot of things we experience in life. And if you're going to love, if you're going to live, you're going to experience grief. You can't have one without the other.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's not to mention, it's also grief and aging,
Absolutely.
Looking in that mirror, next thing you know, like, wait a minute, where all this come from?
Right, menopause for people,
yes.
We go through, that's exactly right. Aging,
right.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, even a change for men, I mean, you know what I'm saying? They know they're not, John Dingo no more, so wait a minute.
Right, midlife crisis, yeah.
Exactly.
Women go, we all go through that.
Yes.
It looks different. And it looks different, it can look different for men and women, but then it looks different. It can look different for all of us across, the sphere. Exactly.
So how do we start to combat that, Laverne? I mean, like, what are the different, pretty much the signs that you're going through grief, but how do we try to manage it, or what would be the first steps if someone don't know how to reach out to you? What would you recommend to start the healing process?
So I would say, first of all, we know that an event, some type of event triggers grief, right? And I think what I know is that what will start to kind of set in are feelings of depression, anxiety. Maybe you start to isolate. Maybe you just recognize that you've experienced that loss, but something just doesn't feel right. Okay, which, like I said, that's a normal part. But I think the one thing is accepting it, and also, recognizing, hey, I feel different, and you are going to be different,
exactly.
Right? Depending on what it was, who it was you lost, what the relationship was. All those things play into that, all those different dynamics. So I think, first of all, acknowledging that it's okay to not be okay, and that
I love
you've
that.
changed.
Say that again.
It's okay to not be
Amen.
Okay. Okay. Society has really, grieved from what, my trainings, my teaching, readings, things like that. One of the things that we really are still struggling with in our society, we are kind of a grief illiterate society. And if you're working a 9-to-5 job, right, in general, it's like you got 3, 4, 5 days off, depending on who it is, right?
Exactly.
And then you're supposed to just return back to normal, right? And that's not the case. How can you just return back to normal when something you've known your entire life, or someone you've been loved for a lifetime is now no longer with you? So your body is not, the heart goes through something, the brain goes through something, the body, just overall, we go through something.
I felt like when I was going through my grief, Laverne, I felt like there was this big empty hole in me, and it's like no matter what I did, it's like I couldn't fulfill that hole, and so I mean, just through time and counseling or what have you, that hole slowly but surely closed up, because it just exploded, and you didn't even have time to get it together. It's just the emotions just went everywhere.
Absolutely.
And so I'm so glad that you're doing this grief counseling. And so what about this event that you have coming up? And this is something that if you are going through grief, or you know a family member, or just anyone that can use this type of retreat, we truly urge you to participate in coming out.
Okay, so let me talk about that a little bit,
yes,
Alexis,
please.
and tell you, why. So, you asked me too just a few minutes ago, like what's out there, what's available, what do you do? First of all, there are counselors, like I said, as myself, that specialize in grief. We specialize in depression. We specialize in anxiety and various transitions in life. So you want to reach out to someone. You want to reach out to a therapist. You want to reach out, maybe, if your pastor does that type of counseling, you want to reach out to someone or reach out to a friend. They might have the resource that you need. What are the resources out there? There are all types of resources out there. And there are groups, if you're experiencing grief, that even they hone in on a specific loss. There are grief groups for people who have lost pets. There are grief groups, if you've lost a spouse, maybe you've lost a wife, maybe you've lost a husband. Grief groups, specifically loss of a child. Grief groups if you've lost someone to suicide. Remember, we talked about that.
Yes.
So there are a litany of just a plethora of specific grief groups. What I offer is, there's two things that I offer. No, I would say three. There's three things that I offer in terms of grief through my therapy practice. One-on-one counseling. That's always available. Most therapists, coaches will offer that one-on-one counseling. Group, okay, where people get together. My group that we get together for an hour, 15 minutes is, you've had me on before, is grief yoga.
Yes.
Okay, and that helps you process grief, move it through the body. And the next thing is retreats. Okay, and so grief retreat, grief group, that is being in community and hopefully brings you out of isolation if you're feeling alone. Because we find that there is something about just being in a group, being in community, being with others that are going through some of the same things that you're going through. It validates your feelings. It validates your emotions. It lets you know that you're not alone. And so November 1st, I want to talk about this because you've asked me. I am hosting, myself and Carmen Rimberg, a colleague of mine. We will be hosting our first inaugural grief retreat. Okay, and I let you know, I've been leading grief yoga a lot, so I'm not even going to say, but this is the inaugural. And this grief retreat, Harvest of Healing. Okay, your harvest is coming. It's about gathering peace, honoring your grief, finding strength for the season that's ahead. And so by coming to this grief retreat, we are going to help you walk through those, help you process those emotions and feelings that come with grief. And we're going to make it a safe, I like to say, safe container for you. Okay. And you're going to be in community with people that are experiencing the same, that also experiencing losses. We're going to break you up into two separate breakout groups, okay? Because sometimes the loss of a person, loss of a pet, that doesn't necessarily go together, right?
You're right.
At times, right? So we're going to have that special breakout group for if you've lost that loved one. And then, and our pets can be our loved one, but we're going to have that in a separate group of loss of other maybe retirement, pet loss, divorce. We will have like a separate group, for that. And so two separate breakout groups for you to process that loss. We're going to do some grief yoga where we're going to move, breathe, make some noise,
Yeah.
dance. We're going to honor that grief. We're going to have an altar for you to bring something special, to dedicate to dedicate this to your loved ones or what you lost. We're going to have some sound healing. At the end, we're going to provide lunch, flower dedication. You're going to get experts, therapist Carmen Rimbert she's written books on grief. She's also she's a counselor herself. And we are just going to come together and support each other and lift each other up.
And when is this going to take place?
This is going to be November 1st at Calvary Baptist Church of Detroit, right across from King High School, next to Elmwood Cemetery. And so it's going to be from 9:30 to 4 o'clock. So it's going to be a full day, and you are going to leave with resources to help you. All right.
Well, I know I plan to be there, and I hope that you'll be able to join us, because what I found, Laverne, is that even though I went through my grief, I say maybe 10 years ago, every now and then it could be a song, it could be a building I go past or whatever that will like reopen up those emotions. And I don't necessarily go through the whole grief process, but still it's when them times come that I'm looking forward to using some other type of method to take me through those emotions at that time. Especially, like I said, it really hits me when I hear a favorite song or something. And I try my best not to let it spiral, but sometimes it just hits you. So no matter if it's been 10, 12 years or whatever, your program will help us to take a different route.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, Alexis, that you said that, because I want people to understand there is no time limit on grief. And even years go by, you will always grieve that loved one. I know sometimes the holiday seasons can be a little difficult for me, at times, because I miss my parents. Mm-hmm. And even though they've been gone years, like you said, 10 plus years.
Exactly.
Those favorite Christmas songs, they come up, right? That music that maybe you played together, right? Just like you said. And so I'm so glad you said that. Mm-hmm. And so there is no time limit. It does not matter when you experience your loss. You are welcome to come to this retreat. There's no time limit.
Oh, good, because like I say, a lot of us are going through or will be going through, and I just send my prayers out to everyone, because again, grief is just an emotion that, like Laverne was saying, where there's life, there's grief, there's no in between, but it's just that. Again, if you don't get the help that you need, sometimes, once you go down that tunnel, there's no coming back. If you don't reach out to someone or have a family member, a friend, somebody to help you go through. And what I love about what Laverne is doing is because not only are you going to be healing through just retreats and things of this nature, is that she offers ongoing yoga classes. And a lot of times we as African Americans, just putting it out there, we as African Americans really don't tune in on that alternative health. And and so yoga is something that's been around for centuries.
You're right. You can't even way back, right? Way back,
exactly,
thousands of years, and it's of our people.
And they've been using this method for meditation, cleansing of the mind, the whole 9 yards. And so now America is just now, say maybe the last 30, 40 years is starting to tune in on this. But by the same token, I've gone to Laverne yoga classes, and I'm telling you, it's just amazing how different, how can I say it? Our energy or whatever is blocked.
Yeah, it moves through you. I love it.
Yeah,
Yes,
and if you don't move it, and you know what I'm saying, to open it up for new energy to come in, it would tear your body down. So it's not that much metformin in the world or all them other kind of different drugs or what have you that we have on the market now. Sometimes it just, you'd be amazed just to stretch. How much?
Stretch it out.
Yeah.
Move it out.
I love that.
Yeah.
Stretch. But these are things that we really, really need to start focusing on, especially our African Americans. We need to be able to look into other alternatives for our health. And trust me, yoga is one of those things that it's the meditation of the mind will also affect your spiritual and your physical.
Absolutely.
So let's so before we wrap this up, Ms. Laverne, you didn't let everybody know about your book.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say a couple other things. Thank you, Alexis. You are too. Really. All of you that have tuned in today are amazing, and I hope to hear from you soon. But I will say this, just so you know, grief yoga, ongoing for veterans. It's always free. When I'm at the VA, it's always free. When you show up to one of my classes, if you are a veteran, it is free. I do that monthly. I have a space for veterans to come, and it is always free for vets. Okay, the grief yoga classes, 2 books. And when we talk about care, this is a grief journal, The Journey Through Grief, that I've written, that has a scripture, it has a meditation, it has a journal prompt, it has a yoga posture and breath work instructions for you to do that, to help you process all what you're carrying within your body, because we feel heavy. The other thing that I really, really, both self-care, but this is my newest journal. This is a self-care journal, and it's 31 days of self-care for you to do something, and you don't have to do any of this in any order, but that is so important when you're grieving. Self-care, I'm giving you the tips, the things to do to help you work through that grief. Or whatever it is that you might need. Both books, and they're both available. You can contact me, through the station, through Alexis, LaverneSantangelo.com. Both books are available. I will get those, I can mail them. And that's kind of it.
And you can also follow Laverne on our website at MotownWVA.org. She's also listed on our website, so that if you are interested in the grief counseling, if you look, even if you want to just host a yoga party for you and your girlfriends, because everybody always want to go out and party or whatever, but she also will help you to host a yoga party.
Yoga self-care
for you and your girlfriends. So get out there and do something different, and you can turn it into a theme. Everybody wear purple to the yoga party or what have you, but she's also available to do that as well.
Can I give I want to give a shout out to
Go ahead.
Alexis. I want to say that this grief retreat, how blessed and how lucky we are. We have 2 sponsors that have helped us out to keep the costs low.
Amen.
And that is the historic Elmwood Cemetery Foundation. They gave us a donation to help us keep the cost down, and so did Swanson Funeral Home. All right.
Yeah.
And so we are so thankful for them, because that has helped us bring the cost down for this retreat.
And we love these type of supporters to help our veterans out, especially in this time of need that we're in right now. So kudos to Swanson, and also who?
Elmwood Cemetery.
Elmwood Cemetery. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And so for those of you, just right quick, again, when it just popped in my head with this cemetery, unfortunately, the VA has cut a lot of funding for our burial services for our loved ones. So that has to also kind of trigger the grief, especially when we have always been dependent on those funds to bury our loved ones.
To give a beautiful, proper burial.
Yeah,
right.
And so like I say, it's just so much going on, and to stay on track. And again, try to join us at the Grief Yoga Retreat. It's an all-day event, November the 1st. And again, you can follow me on my webpage to get information as to how to purchase your tickets. You don't want to miss this, and even if you do, there's going to be plenty more to come.
Yeah, and we'll be planning a next retreat for the spring.
Okay,
spring
definitely.
Retreat.
We're looking forward to it.
Thank
And
you.
again, for those who would like to host their own personal yoga party, I'm telling you, that's the end thing now. So again, get in contact with Laverne if you interested in doing that. If you having a hard time reaching her, again, you can call Motown Women here at 248-301-1900. And we just appreciate having Miss Laverne on the show. I mean, it's always an uplifting spirit for myself, and this won't be the last that you see of her. And so again, we just want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And thank you for our viewing audience for attending our program today. And we look forward to seeing you next Tuesday with more information and resources for our veterans out there in the community. Thank you so much.
Seeking out my sisters, one after one. Finding my footing after I laid down my gun. Just wanna be valued for all that I've done. Millions of women have served their country, and I am one.
Women military veterans often find themselves undervalued compared to their male counterparts, both during their service and after their departure from the military. Support systems and services tend to prioritize the needs of male veterans over that of female veterans who look to find their footing after their military service. Resources tailored to the unique challenges faced by women veterans are scarce, leaving many without the necessary support. This lack of recognition and accommodation for female veterans not only undermines their service, but also intensifies the difficulties they face in reintegrating into society and accessing essential resources. Motown Women Veterans have made it our mission to support and uplift female veterans, whether they are transitioning from active duty or have served their nation long ago. Together, we honor their legacy and ensure they receive the care and opportunities they so richly deserve. We salute our women veterans who have fallen before they got a chance to rise with honor.